Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story, so don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. The Brigadier comes, you hear a cry of the Brigadier from upstairs, and he's like, "Oh my lord, Tauten's in a coma!" And that is not a good thing. Valentino, you are off trying unsuccessfully to get your finger sewn back on. I think, I'm sure the medical system in the 1940s probably could reattach limbs, maybe. But I'm sure that it was just like, it's just a pinky. Sew you up and tape you up.
Go for the best.
What? Why? Who else has a scar? Is there anybody else that has a scar? Is it just poor Valentino that keeps
No, Valentino has all of them.
Yeah, he has
Oh
two
my
now.
gosh.
I have the mental scarring.
Oh yeah, you have a mental
Yeah,
scar
there's
against
that.
tentacles, yeah.
No, we meant our characters. Oh,
I would have pointed out a bunch more physical scars at that point. I have done some stupid things.
it's weird. I've actually got fewer mental scars than I did before.
That's gross.
They're not scars. What you are lacking are your mental
I'm feeling
protections.
much better now. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Oh.
Doc has become too rational and lost his his ability
has.
to see the horrid truths of the cosmos.
Yep,
Oh,
that's true.
To ignore them. Okay, so well, first of all, did Valentino tell us about his dreams?
I
Where
think
in-
everybody mentioned some part of their dreams.
Right. Didn't his dream feature Sir Totten being torn apart by Zombies or something?
No, I believe
No,
that. Let's go.
that was
No, that was mine.
yeah, Carlos.
Okay.
So who all is there besides, I guess, the three of us?
I think that's it. The Brigadier has rushed upstairs. There's some general commotion. The doctor is off doctoring, trying to take care of the White Witch, Seraph, and also Valentino if he can, but probably not. And yeah, just some general staff people walking around.
Was there a second person in Dutch's dream getting torn apart?
Let me see.
Wasn't it Winston Churchill?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was one of mine.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking of.
I think maybe Sally was there too. I didn't write down who all was in there.
Nope, I don't know where my dream notes are at of all the dreams that you guys had, but they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
They were scary. Bad dreams.
Yeah, I talked to Count Duke,
Yep, JMT.
JMT, in my dream. I'm pretty sure he was actually there. That's how we've kind of helped to figure out the transportation through the dreamlands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Dutch will be like, all right, well, there's not much we can do to help, although, Doc, I suppose if you want to go help one of the people that got injured, we killed all the cultists except for one. Pretty sure. One got away.
Mhm.
Yes, correct.
So,
Except that Tauton is still in a coma.
yeah. So,
Being in a coma is like being asleep and you might dream.
I'm not
I know. It's serious.
I'm not in great shape to go out and look for him. I don't think. So maybe we just stand guard in case he comes back. Um, and maybe go look for him tomorrow.
Let whoever's on duty overnight know.
Yeah, I was thinking you and I would take shifts as well.
Okay.
So if you want to sleep first, go to it and see if you find out anything while you're at it.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out how reasonable it would be for Blisco to put it together that the dream attack. Like, this is not the first time someone was attacked in a dream and then was clearly having problems when I woke up.
Sure.
Correct. You've had at least one murder that you know for sure, and you have watched Tauton, Sally, and others all deteriorate over the last couple of months.
We want to go check on anybody else that's been attacked in
Have we seen
dreams.
Sally lately?
You saw her when she was awake earlier.
Was she awake after Tauton? After we discovered the
after all the screaming and commotion, she has not made an appearance.
Perhaps we should check.
I go check.
I'll go check.
Oh, so you're not helping the doctor?
I mean, am I? Should I?
I mean, I suggest, like Dutch suggested that you should, but do your thing.
Let's do that. Okay,
Okay.
so I shall help the doctor. I'm not even here.
Okay. There's a lot of commotion in the operating area as the doctor is trying to patch up Seraph as much as he can. Valentino, you've got a big old wad of gauze holding onto your finger, and you're holding it to staunch the bleeding. The doctor looks up and says, "You there? I hear you have a little medical training. Come assist, please."
Absolutely, certainly.
Do you know what a scalpel is?
Yes.
Please hand me one of those.
I hand him a scalpel.
And he's cutting into Seraph, and it's like opens up his stomach where he's been pierced. You can look at again. Why don't you, Matthew, roll an insight plus medicine, D2, two successes. So, yeah, with your medical training, you can see that Seraph has been beaten. He has been chained. You can see bruising on his wrists where it looks like he has been handcuffed or chained to something. He's got lips and face and eyes are all puffy and swollen and blue. Even with Seraph's pale skin, it's very apparent that he has been undergoing some severe torture of some kind. He's also been cut in places on his body, and the place where the doctor is working on right now is not an opening that the doctor created. He's actually opening up the wound a little bit more because he sees something in there.
Oh no.
Listen, hold this open. And he's asking you to hold open the wound.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to reach in and attempt to pull this out, whatever it is.
All right.
And he reaches in and he's fishing around and he pulls on something and his eyes kind of like light up like, oh my God, what have I grabbed? And he starts pulling it out. And at first you think he's got a piece of intestine that he's pulling out of Seraph, but the intestine starts wiggling and it's a purpler color than anything that you have seen before. And he's got one hand on it and he pulls it out of the hole and then he grabs the other, grabs with his other hand and he continues to pull out until he pulls out something that is about a 3-foot long worm looking thing that is wriggling and moving around. if you've seen like a leech that has that like star pattern teeth on the front of it, it's kind of like that, except it's probably the size of a silver dollar. And this thing is wiggling and thrashing. He's like, my God, what the hell is this? And yes, so that is what is going on currently right now.
We'll look for something to contain it.
Okay, there are a number of jars, like you would have if you were going to put something in formaldehyde for study. You can find all sorts of, there's a box on the floor.
Is there a jar big enough to get it in there without us having to touch it extensively?
Well, this guy's already touching it extensively, and he's not wearing gloves because this was an emergency situation.
Sure.
So, yeah, there's that. Maybe, there's a jar that may be able to hold the size of like a fetal pig, like from biology class, but maybe not.
Pretty big.
Let's try it.
All right. So you grab it and the doctor is, fighting it and wiggling it around. You're going to have to assist him, Doc. And so you're going to need an agility plus athletics D3 in order to get this thing in the jar.
D3. Do we have anything?
You have no momentum.
A D3. But no momentum. If only.
So the doctor is assisting him?
No, Doc is trying to help the doctor get it into the jar.
Okay, not like a mechanical.
It's not like an assist. No, it's not a mechanical.
Okay.
It is literally
It's just a roll for Matthew. Got it.
Yeah.
And this is not something that might count as stabilizing a dying character because, we're pulling a lamprey out of his guts.
Nope, that is not what is going on here.
Well,
this is a wriggling creature of the void.
I'm currently playing a video game where in order to stabilize one character, you have to kill another character.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think that counts here.
No, but it does give me ideas. Thank you.
Well, I got
honestly, anytime we can substitute real skills for fighting, I think we're doing a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gross. Okay. I have a specialty in surgery.
Do you?
Yeah.
Too bad this isn't. This is more of an animal handling thing.
Well, I think my only chance is to hope for a 1. Maybe a couple of 1s. It's a panicked moment. We're here to panic. Worst case scenario, it eats us both. We die and are digested slowly over the course of the next 15
give him
seconds.
more threat.
Yes.
I have fortune.
I mean, if you
or you could spend a fortune.
Yeah,
the fortunes again. Not saying you can't, but just remember that fortunes are for extraordinary circumstances.
The implication being that some sort of satanic lamprey from beyond the void is not extraordinary.
I mean, if you want to do it, that's fine.
Grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
extraordinary. I would say actually containing it, not extraordinary.
Yeah, give him a threat.
All right.
And
threaten.
Try to get a success on every die.
I got it. I always get a success on every die, even if that success is succeeding and failing. Okay, so I will give you a threat. Does your threat cap at any point, like our monumentum?
Nope.
3d20. And it's going to be against a 12. So chances are at least 50-50. Maybe a little better than 50-50. Maybe like 45-55. I'm going to roll this. We're going to see what happens. You ready? Kapow! Not enough
successes. Very good. So what I need you and Brian to now do, you guys both need to roll will plus resistance D3.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Resilience?
Will plus resilience, yeah.
Will plus resilience. Okay.
You say D3?
D3.
So we're rolling 3 dice.
No.
You would normally roll 2 unless you're giving Steven some threat. You
Right.
need to get 3 successes, is what that means.
Or else we explode.
Yeah, or else you fail.
I mean, I fail all the time.
Okay,
Well, I'm not giving him any more threat.
It is possible to get 3 successes on 2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Possibly get 4 successes on 2
Yeah.
dice.
I mean, I'm rolling pretty okay on the resilience. Plus, I do have some psychic brain damage. So, I mean, not as much as I used to. What about you, Valentino?
I think I'm just going to shoot the shot and see what happens.
All right. We'll go on 3. 1, 2. Exploding lamprey.
1 success.
1 success.
All right, both 1 success. Valentino, what is your reaction on seeing this giant tentacle thing being pulled out of Seraph?
Ah, man, I think I'm so beat up and drained. Would it be possible I just pass out?
Let's find out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, shoot.
Mental stress.
Yeah, I got 3 available.
Okay. So yes, you pass out. Doc, you also need to take 6 mental stress.
Okay.
Do I get any sort of penalty for going over?
No, you are passed out and you are out of the scene.
Okay.
Remember that courage soaks.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yep.
But I still don't think that's going to be enough. Nope. Almost.
So I will
courage
take
do you
1
have?
mental stress.
2.
And you only had 3 health left?
Yep.
Yep.
So
Okay.
1 over. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
Did Valentino just die?
No, he is just out of the scene. He has been defeated in this scene.
Okay. So
the doctor is trying as hard as he can to deal with this thing, and it's clear that this thing, even though it is gooey and dripping with pus and slime, and it's purple and green and throbbing, that it's not just a pack, it's not just a liquid form. It's a lot of muscle. And this thing falls, he drops it and it falls onto the floor, and the thing attempts to attack you, Doc, by lunging at you with its mouth that starts out as a star. It looks like a little leech mouth, but as it starts to approach you, the head splits into 3 parts, and it's a 3-part jaw that attempts to reach out and latch onto you. So this is a hand-to-hand combat.
So agility plus fighting?
Agility plus fighting.
Okay. Am I going to have to get some unresolvable number this time too?
You just have to roll.
You have to roll higher
more
than that.
successes than I do.
Okay. Bat monkey. I got 1 success.
I got 2 successes. So it bites onto your shoulder. And it starts to wriggle around, and you can feel your clothing rip open, and it feels like your arm is also ripping open.
Okay.
And you need to take 3 physical damage. Any armor can soak that up.
Okay. So it will actually be 2.
Okay.
And it's now attached to me.
It is attached to you.
It's stuck on me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea.
The doctor is scrambling around trying to find something. He's got a pair of forceps that he has now that he's trying to latches on to the thing that's wriggling, and it's smacking him in the face, and his face starts to instantly have a reaction to all the slimy and gooey stuff, and his face starts to bubble a lot as he's trying to remove this thing from you, but he's not having much luck.
So this is the year 1940.
Yep. May of 1940.
May of 1940. And this is a laboratory. What was it when it was just the Towton estate? Would this have been something like just a room, or?
probably just a room. It's been converted, so
Right.
it's basically like a doctor's office.
Good. So when they converted it, there's clearly over by the door. There's a fire axe and some sort of chemical fire thing to deal with anything that bursts into flames.
I mean, maybe there's nothing on fire. So
I saw it. No, but there's an axe.
Oh, okay. So you're holding an axe in one arm, and this thing is attached to your other arm.
Yes,
by all means. Please swing an axe at your arm, please.
I am going to swing an axe at the creature, not at my arm, but at the creature.
Agility plus fighting.
Agility plus fighting. And this is the thing. This is very important. I've done this before, so I feel like I should get some sort of like thematic bonus.
Nope, you have not done this before.
Awesome.
So
Agility
unfortunately, even if you had, that stuff is what's represented by like momentum and fortune.
Right. I'm just saying. You made a big deal of Sally yelling at me that I tried to kill a girl with an axe. I didn't try to kill a girl with an axe. I tried to not kill a girl with an axe. 1 success.
2 successes here. So it starts to burrow into your skin. And let's see. What did you roll? 7. Okay. And it is going to start to burrow into you.
Okay.
And even though it feels like it hurts, it is somehow you feel soothed, like you feel this great warmth washing over you, and your mind is starting to become more and more clear.
So the doctor is here. I am here. An unconscious man on the floor and a nearly dead man on some sort of table. Are there any other people in this room?
No.
It's
late. It's like the middle of the night.
Right. Is the doctor still conscious?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to tell him to hit it with the axe.
Well, he's not really in combat. He's just kind of there trying to fumble his way through stuff.
Well,
so this thing is entering your body, and it's starting to feel very soothing. And you need to take 2 mental damage.
Okay. Do I need to keep mental damage separate from physical damage?
Well, it's all in your stress meter, but you should be marking it as either P for physical or M for mental.
Yeah.
Because physical damage you can heal.
Mm-hmm.
Mental damage you cannot heal.
Ever?
No, you as a doctor cannot heal someone's mental damage.
I thought you were telling me that. I'm like, wait a minute, I'll follow it in. Okay.
And also that influences the number of scars, right? It influences the scars that you can receive.
Okay. So right now, I have 3 mental damage. I have 5 physical damage.
Well, you probably soaked up that mental damage with your courage.
Oh, you're right. Never mind. I have 1 mental damage. I have 5 physical damage.
And how much stress do you have left?
That would leave me with 5. No, 6. Math is hard.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, this thing is doesn't feel so bad right now. It's not a big deal.
Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe I'll just try and hit it with the axe one more time.
Okay.
I mean, what's this? It'll be
sure. Go for it.
Fine. 1 success.
All right. Go ahead and roll some damage on this thing. I got to look and see what it's. Oh man, this thing's got a really. Anyway, try to roll some damage. Your axe will do, I believe, 4 damage dice.
Okay. I guess I wouldn't get my brawn bonus here, would I?
Why not?
Yeah, no, you would get a brawn bonus there.
Okay, so the brawn bonus then would give me 6 damage die, yeah? 5
sure.
plus 2, yeah. All right. I'm going to chop this thing off my arm. Then I'm going to have some beers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 effects. I don't know if an axe has an effect.
Okay. Well, the effects aren't going to do anything because it's an axe. It has no special abilities.
Good. See if the rotary axe. I hear those are very, very effective.
So you are able to successfully hack this thing in two,
Mm-hmm.
and a part of it is still stuck to your arm and wiggling and trying to get in, and the other part falls to the floor, and the other end of its body opens up its mouth and starts to squirm towards the doctor, the other doctor, the real doctor.
You had to qualify it.
I mean, I don't want people to be confused.
Yeah, I get it. My name is Doc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is split in two, very much like an earthworm.
Well, that's probably bad.
Yeah.
I wonder
it's
if I
not
split
good.
it again, will there be 3 of them?
It could be 4 of them.
Why would there be 4?
Depends on how many you hit. The doctor is holding his face because it's bubbling and burning. And he's like, this thing burns like fire. Like fire.
I don't have a gun, do I?
No, you do not. And right above the doctor's on the floor, holding his face, and right above him is the laboratory equipment that has, bubbling beakers and everything going on.
Oh, this is bad.
And we hear that scream.
Yeah, Rodrigo, why don't you roll a insight plus observation?
Is that both of us?
Sure. Yeah.
I got a 4 and a 20. So a success and a complication.
Okay. What did you roll, Rob?
A 15 and an 8, so a success.
Okay. So you both hear a scream coming from the medical ward area, and you start working your way down there. As soon as you burst in, Rodrigo, you see this tentacle horror on the ground, and is pretty gross looking. Your stomach is turning inside out, and you have a sick. And so you can take 1 physical damage from being the sick. That can be a complication.
Okay.
Rob, or Blisco, Tentacle.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
going to be harder.
You see a wriggling thing attached to Doc's arm. You see another wriggling thing on the floor that is working its way towards the doctor, who's holding his face in pain. Seraph is passed out on the table, and Valentino is also on the floor. It looks like he is incapacitated. What would you like to do, Rodrigo or Rob?
I would like to shoot the parasite off of Doc.
Okay. It's going to be a trick shot, so we're going to have to make that a little bit harder, I think.
Okay.
Let's make this a D3 to hit this thing. So coordination and fighting D3.
Okay, so I am going to give you a threat.
Okay. I now have 10 threat.
Okay. And I will aim.
Okay.
And then I will take the shot.
Okay.
So I'm rolling 3 dice. And what you said the difficulty was?
D3.
Okay. I rolled an 11, a 13, and an 11, which I believe are all successes.
Let me look here
because
really
my
quick.
coordination and fighting is 15. So
Yep. Very good. So you hit this thing. Please roll damage, which I believe your gun is a 6, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's the HDM, so it's just 3 dice.
Okay.
But
3 dice.
with my insight is 4. So
Okay. All right. Roll it.
well, how do I do Cthulhu dice? Is there like a number?
So yes. So roll a bunch of D6s, however many D6s that you need. And ones are, let me look here. Ones and 6s will be Cthulhu heads. 2 will be a single success. A 4 will be a double success. And 3 and 5 are nothings.
1, 2, 3, 4. I got 2 6s, a 1, and a 3.
2 6s. So 2 effects, if there was anything with the effects.
Okay.
So those are 2 hits. A 1, that's also another effect. So that's 3 hits. A 3 is nothing. And is that it?
That's it.
Okay. So yeah, three hits on this, and the creature on Doc's arm explodes into just a mess of viscous goop and fluid and blood that is gushing, that it was ingesting through Doc's arm. Also squirts out everywhere. There's material now dripping down from the ceiling and onto the floor in long, goopy, slimy drips. Gross indeed. Blisco, there's another creature on the ground wiggling towards the doctor. There's a bunch of bubbling beakers on the counter behind him.
I'm going to put myself between the creature and the doctor.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and stomp on it.
Okay. Let's roll 2d20. This will be a hand-to-hand combat, so an agility and fighting.
Agility. It's a 12. That's not bad. Okay.
I'm going to use one of my threats. Okay.
Well, I got a 7 and a 12, which is 2 successes.
2 successes. I also have 2 successes, so you succeed. You may do some physical foot stomping damage.
Does DC +1 versus tentacled things work with that?
DC +1.
Like, because DC is usually the number of successes
right.
I need.
Oh, yeah, you needed one more success.
Okay.
So I don't think you succeeded there. Yeah. You did not succeed on that. So you stomp down and it kind of inches its way past you.
I gotta say, Rob, your dedication to the rules, even when it handled.
Well, I forgot how the tentacle thing worked. I forgot that increased his target.
No, but it's always amazing when Rob does that, when he could go, yeah, that totally won. And he's like, no, I'm going to be honest. It's cool.
Valentino, you see a very bright light.
Oh, no.
And it's very bright. And the next thing you know,
Caroline,
you are back in your ancestral home, sitting on a chair, and you're rocking. And next to you is your deceased grandmother. And she's looking at you, and she just smiles and says, Nathaniel, I'm glad I got to see you again. I wish it was under better circumstances.
Yeah, I suppose it could be better.
It could be better. Did I ever tell you that I used to have a power that let me heal people with, I don't know, some kind of a spell, magic? That's what they called it. Your grandfather didn't care for it too much, so I stopped doing it. But I believe the power is inside of you if you'd only practice. Would you like some more lemonade?
Sure. Lemonade would be good.
And she snaps her fingers. Boy, get my Nathaniel a lemonade. And a black gentleman comes up and he pours you some lemonade and kind of smiles at you, kind of, polite smile, but also I hate my life kind of smile.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the way it is. If you would, Valentino, roll me a will plus fighting.
Okay.
Will plus fighting. We'll make this easy. D1.
Let's see. A 4 and a 9. That'd be 2 successes.
Hey, very good. 2 successes. So you guys get 1 momentum. Back in the laboratory, everybody who is in this session all see Valentino's body move as he takes a deep, deep, deep breath into his body. He is not dead.
That's good.
Blisco, you are momentarily distracted by seeing your comrade breathing life into his body that you have misplaced where the creature has disappeared to.
I can't say I'm truly upset about that.
And the doctor's like, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Do I still see the creature?
You would need to roll an observation plus insight.
I would like to roll an observation plus insight.
Okay. D1.
Thank you. 2 successes.
Hey, very good. You get another momentum back.
Okay.
You have 2 momentum now. And you look, and sure enough, you see a couple of the beakers on the counter right above the doctor move away, kind of part. And you see this thing inching through, and it raises up its back end, and the 3 jaws open up, and you hear it. And it gets ready to attack. It gets ready to attack Blisco. That was just the setup. That was the. You're going to hit it with the axe?
Yes.
Like, are you going to throw it across the room, or what are you doing?
How far is it?
It's across the room.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it across the room. Because I figure if I miss, I might.
Oh, no.
You might hit a Blisco or a Doc. So, yeah, go for it.
I might knock over some sort of like acid or fire or something that would kill it.
Well, I mean, I have said there's bubbling beakers, and that usually implies there's a Bunsen burner somewhere. So you may use a coordination and fighting.
This is going to be epic or terrible.
D2.
2 successes.
Right. You may roll, I guess, 2 damage dice for this, since you threw it. And this is a melee weapon and not a ranged weapon.
Makeshift weapon. 4.
Yeah, you hit this thing pretty hard, and it also just kind of ruptures and bursts, and a lot of that goopy stuff lands on the beakers, and you hear it hissing and bubbling, and in one spot it does kind of catch fire a little bit, and you can hear like a high-pitched psst as the creature burns completely up. The doctor is holding his face. There is a passed out Seraph, and there is a passed out but alive Valentino.
First thing I want to check on is Seraph, because he was the closest to death. But
all right, so you can do a medicine plus. What are you trying to do? You're just trying to check and see if he's alive?
Yes, and stabilize if necessary.
Okay, so read your stabilize thing again.
Stabilize. It just says, I have the when you successfully stabilize an ally, blah, blah, blah. That's a power. I have the lifesaver power. You can bring people back from the brink of death.
Okay, so that's what you can use on. That's what you could use on Valentino. To stabilize, you would need to roll a coordination plus medicine D2.
Okay.
On Seraph.
I can do that. Coordination. Ooh, I'm very coordinated.
Coordination and medicine.
Coordination plus medicine D2 on Sans Seraph. 2 successes.
No, you definitely have a Seraph, so would be with a Seraph. So
he's definitely alive.
For now.
You have stabilized him. You have seen massive amounts of blood pooling up in his gut where the creature was pulled out from. You are able to
2 momentum.
You do have 2 momentum. You are able to. You have what?
I have an ability, but I don't know if I can use it. When you successfully stabilize an ally, you may spend 2 momentum to immediately treat a physical injury the ally has suffered.
That doesn't count for an NPC. It's talking about like.
That's what I thought.
About like your.
I might be able to do that to Valentino.
Yeah, this is so the stress that Seraph has is all set dressing damage.
He's been tortured. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So you see where the blood is pooling up, and you were able to grab a pair of what's the clamps that staunch the flow of blood, and you're able to get in there, and you're able to clamp those on to the bloody parts and stop the flow of blood, and then you're able to make sure that he has ample fluids, and you can check his eyes, and it looks like a little bit of color is coming back into Seraph's body.
Okay.
It looks like he's probably going to be okay.
Forceps, 5 steps. Vascular clamp.
The doctor gets up and he's still holding his face. He goes over to the sink and he's like splashing water on his face and trying to cool it down a little bit. And when he turns around, you can tell like his eyelid is like completely melted off from his face.
Ew.
And it's just like this big bulging eye that's sticking out of the socket. And he's looking around at you, and that eyeball is red and irritated and kind of swiveling around in that socket. But there's like nothing, no skin around that eye socket.
Dutch, we need to flush his eye.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So you guys can both roll a medicine plus
Reason.
let's do reason. Let's do reason and medicine. So Doc, it's a D2. Rodrigo, you can assist, so you'll be rolling just a single D20.
Okay. 20.
Oh no.
2 successes.
All right. So we're not going to use, because Doc succeeded, we don't need to use the complication in that. You're able to flush his eye, and you're able to get some, iodine. You pour some iodine on the wound and some mercurochrome. And then, there's a lot of screaming and a lot of thrashing as the doctor is cursing you out. Fool, don't you know you're not supposed to put that on an unopened wound? It burns. And he's able to grab some gauze and tape up his eye, and he's in pain just a little bit. He reaches over to one of the cabinets and he pulls out some pills, and he takes a lot of pills, than maybe more than he should. And he kind of sits down on the floor and is just breathing heavy.
Okay. So Valentino is breathing.
Yes, but you probably need to. This is where you would use your stabilize ability.
Right. I will attempt to.
Or I mean, your lifesaver ability. Sorry,
my lifesaver. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I must spend 1 fortune.
Yep.
Because extraordinary.
Here's the problem, though.
Mm-hmm.
We're still in the scene, and you can only use 1 fortune per scene.
But I didn't use fortune.
Oh, you didn't use your fortune? I thought you used.
No, I ended up giving you a threat rather than using fortune because I decided it wasn't extraordinary.
Good. Okay, so you have to spend a fortune.
Yep.
Okay.
Coordination plus medicine chest. Have we burned all of our monumentum?
Nope, you have 2 momentums.
Okay. So I have to make a coordination plus medicine with a difficulty 3.
Okay.
And if I am successful, Valentino is defeated rather than dead. So that would not be the one we want to use here.
So what you need to do first is the lifesaver ability.
That is the lifesaver ability.
Then no, because I have medic that says when you successfully stabilize an ally.
Right.
So you first have to stabilize, then you can use your medic ability to spend 2 momentum in order to immediately treat 1 physical injury.
Yeah, stabilizing someone is like a stock roll. It's not what lifesaver is.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 successes to stabilize.
Okay, but okay. What you need to do is a lifesaver, though.
But the lifesaver doesn't do anything here.
You can bring people back from the brink of death. Hint: right. Valentino is on the brink of death.
Mm-hmm.
And you can stabilize a dying character or revive a character by 1. You can revive a character by 1. I don't know what that means.
Heal them 1 box.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give them 1 health back. So what you want to do is a lifesaver. You don't want to do a stabilize.
Okay, so coordination plus medicine chest. Burn a fortune, difficulty 3.
I don't know where are you getting the difficulty 3 from.
From the text. You must spend 1 fortune and make a coordination plus medicine test with a difficulty of 3. Oh, that's to save a life. Never mind. Separate clauses. Separate clauses. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a regular medicine.
Still spend a fortune, but you're doing yes.
And I'm stabilizing the dying character.
Correct. Well, correct.
Okay. Using the lifesaver power.
Yes.
It will lower the difficulty by 1.
So it'll be a D1.
Right. 2 successes.
Okay, so you get a momentum, and Valentino, you see your grandmother say, "Well, it was nice seeing yous. I hope I don't see you again anytime soon."
Right back at you.
And you wake up and you see a bunch of people surrounding you, and you have one physical. You clear one of your stress boxes.
And this is the point where I can spend 2 momentum to treat one of Valentino's physical injuries. That's the
I mean, you can, but
should I?
You're not in combat and you're at your home base.
So he's not.
So
dying.
if you guys are going to immediately go back into combat, then I would say yes, that might be wise. But it sounded like you guys wanted to just kind of take a break and kind of heal thyselves.
Okay.
But if you want to do it, you most certainly can.
No, I'm good. I don't want to burn up all of our momentum because we could literally be killed at any time. The universe hates us, after all.
Yes. Speaking of which, the universe opens up and kills all of you. Okay, so you have a nearly dead man with you.
Valentino.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. We thought we'd lost you.
Well, only momentarily.
Hey, Blisco.
Put a Band-Aid on his head.
Dutch indicates to his shoulder holster. From now on, keep one of these by the side of your bed, just in case.
That's where it's at.
Okay. All right. Well, next time, grab it.
Got it.
Okay. So
the doctor goes back to he limps over and he continues to sew up Seraph and make sure that he's okay. And he looks at you and he's like, "Oh, you stopped this man's bleeding. Very good. Yes, that's very good. That's almost a second-year skill for a doctor in medical school. Good job there, boy."
Thank you.
This man will need some sleep. And then he kind of walks over towards where Valentino is at. He keeps bumping into things, but it doesn't appear to bother him, maybe because the painkillers have kicked in. And he starts to examine you, Valentino, and after a few minutes of poking and prodding and looking at you closely and spacing off, perhaps maybe a little bit too long, he comes to and he says, yes, at least a day's rest for you, and you should be okay. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to save your finger.
That's okay. I didn't care for it much anyway.
Yes, it's the pinky. I think in 1,000 years, we will no longer have need of a pinky, and we will evolve past pinky fingers and pinky toes. But that's just a theory that I have, mind you. Our brains will also be twice as large. And then he sits down and kind of stares off into space, but he's also doesn't appear to be awake.
I think that might be a good time to see if maybe I could bandage his terrifying acid burns.
Oh, he's kind of already taken care of that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he did that himself.
He bandaged his own terrifying acid burns.
Yeah, you can still see the boils and everything, but yeah.
Do we have Valentino's pinky?
I mean, it's somewhere in this mess, sure.
I'll go look for it.
You find a pinky.
Okay, I'll put it in a small jar.
Yeah, there's some formaldehyde. You just fill that thing up and throw the pinky inside.
Okay.
It swims around happily.
Yeah. When Dutch does that, he's like, I don't know, it's the pinky of the chosen of the Yith, so maybe it can be like a relic or something.
Maybe.
You're going to keep that with you, Valentino, or are you going to just set it on a shelf somewhere?
Just put it on a shelf. Or I don't know. I'm really doing much right now other than just lying down.
Okay, well, for future reference, is this something that you want to carry around with you? It's in a small little jar, or is it something that you don't care for?
I don't think I'm going to be carrying it around now.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to the eggheads.
Oh my, what has happened?
Oh no, that's the wrong egghead to give this.
He rushes in. He comes rushing in. Oh no, Valentino! Oh my gosh, my poor Valentino. Are you okay? He just starts pampering you, and grabs a wet rag, and he's wiping the sweat and blood off of your face and body.
All right, good. If he's doing that, I'm just gonna take this to Delbert.
The last time that you guys saw Dilbert, he was going to rush off to another lab area to do some experiments. And you get there, and there's no Dilbert.
It's late.
It is late.
Okay. I'll just leave the pinky and write a note that's like, this is Valentino's pinky. They couldn't reattach it. But Valentino is magic, so see if you can figure something to do with it.
Okay. As you turn away, you can see there's a empty cot in the corner. It's the blanket is not thrown back like somebody got up from sleeping, but it definitely looks like someone had been sleeping, but they're not in that bed anymore.
Okay. I'll look around to see if anybody's around.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like whoever was in that bed simply just disappeared, and the blanket just like collapsed into that empty space.
Great.
If that makes sense.
I'm just gonna assume he's doing that voluntarily.
Okay.
I'll go back to the main house.
Yeah. There's a lot of commotion. People are running around now because everyone has now been roused that Towton is passed out or in a coma. People are really having concerns. You hear one woman, he's like, "Oh, if Lord Towton dies, then I'll be out of a job." And other people are like, "Oh, this is going to be a horrible setback. The Black Sun could make huge advances and help Hitler invade Britain." Everyone seems to be very concerned that if Towton dies, that it's going to be a major setback for the war effort.
Sure. I'll look for Blisco.
Yeah, there's Blisco. He's in the kitchen. Hey, Blisco, what are you doing?
I'm in the kitchen. I'm probably making a sandwich.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo sandwich.
Is there any other sandwich?
You need to, there's a talent that gives you a dog. You need to get that so it can make a sandwich with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just so happens there are some like German Shepherds that the HQ has for guard duty. There is one kind of at the kitchen door. You can hear it whining and kind of pawing at the screen.
So, I am
feel
not.
Like I wouldn't be feeding the dog.
I was gonna say I wouldn't take the dog talent just because so many horrible things have happened to us.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could stand it if they happened to a dog.
Yeah. The dog's just like licking its chops and just dead staring at you the entire time. Blisco, and every once in a while it'll be like, "Woof."
It's been getting scraps the entire time.
Woof. Yeah, well, kind of like you, it has an empty stomach and constantly wants treats.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll find Blisco.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, "Hey, I think Dilbert vanished. Just a theory. So tonight when you go to sleep, keep an eye out for him."
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he was going to be experimenting with the whole dream traveling thing, right?
Yep. So hopefully he's somewhere safe. But I'll keep an eye out for him too when I go to sleep.
Okay.
We haven't
hopefully
seen Dilbert since before Towton fell into a coma.
How we talked to Dilbert since before that happened. Yes.
But we haven't seen Dilbert since we were awakened, and people are like, "Oh no, Lord Towton is in a coma."
Well, we were already awake when that happened. Like, we were awakened by a commotion. Then we went out to the garage or to the shed. And that's where we found the witch man. And then we fought some cultists. And then we came back. And we spoke to Delbert before all of that stuff happened. Because actually, right before that stuff happened, we all had weird dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Last time.
On a critical hit.
On a critical hit.
Critical Hit Punch All Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Stephen Schleicher. If you would like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Each week I discuss my plans for the upcoming game session, and Dr. Brad Will is there to share his reactions and advice on how to be a better game master. I will warn you, though, there are spoilers galore in every installment of the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition. So, if you don't like spoilers and don't want to know what I am planning next, don't listen to these episodes. Though, I will say, if you do listen, you'll be able to see how and where the players throw a wrench into my plans, and you're also going to have greater insight into the world that's being built into this campaign. Finally, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you again for listening this week, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2024 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.